is so unfair. I was supposed to be the nominee. I never expected just a mom beat me. I should have denounced my batshit crazy son. Everything he touches goes to shit. The family knew he went off the deep end when Mia left him on their honeymoon night. I wasted all my money on the campaign. I could have used it for therapy for Maxie. Now I have to concede to a mom. Yes, a mom. Mark Rice, lost to a mom. I just lost to a mom. Yes, I admit failure. I formally concede. Jennifer Davis, you are the better woman. No, Daddy. Not Daddy. Daddy. I'm sorry it cost you your second election. Does this mean no breast reduction, Daddy? It's not all my fault. If it makes you feel better, Daddy, I lost another election too.
The fucking election was rigged. Oh, one rogue guy! We're storming the Capitol! Bring the pitchforks! I'm not crazy. I'm normal. Why didn't I win?
Mark, the retard is right. It's not all his fault. I lost my election too. All of us lost. Mark, at least I have my sanity and my job as a special ed lunch teacher. How about this? Next time we can run as a slate. We can call us the Crazies.
Hey, Max Epad. What size cup is your bra? I wanted it.
It's not funny, Rocio. This is all Mia left the night of our honeymoon. Are you crazy?
You better believe it, you soft, weak-ass pussy. Now give me that bra.
Shut up, you two crazy sons of bitches. Nobody cares about your elections. The entire state owes all of you are batshit crazy. I thought I had everyone fooled until you came around. No, I have to concede to the mom. I spent my campaign thinking I was smarter than a mother. I can't believe I lost to a mom. I will never concede to Owen. She had the rope and beat me, man. This isn't over when Papa get Long John. Max Feedpad, get your ass over here now. I'm going to beat the woman out of your ass. No, Daddy. No, here, Daddy. Take me as bra. I won't ever wear it again. How fuck did I get such a crazy son? You cost me 2 elections.
All right, welcome to Behind Enemy Lines. I had to start out with something. It's been a rough year with the primaries. And again, this is for people from Illinois. So for those of you that are not from Illinois, you won't get the joke. Those are 3 of the craziest people that ever been involved in politics, not just in Illinois, but throughout the country. What's up, Mike?
Dude, yeah, you guys dodged some bullets, but there's a few good candidates that didn't make it across the finish line either, but that's Illinois for you.
Yes. So for those of you not overly familiar, that was Mark Rice. He ran for Congress in the 8th District twice. His son, Max Rice, who I think he was on the write-in Treasury. He ran 5 or 6 times. He couldn't even win as a committeeman. He's got some little blog that has 40 followers, and he's attacked all kinds of, not just myself, but all kinds of Republicans and all, like hardcore patriot grassroots people. He brutally attacked, lied, defamed us for a whole year. So it's a little bit of payback, all right? It's a little bit of payback I'm enjoying. The other one is Rocio Cleveland, crazy Puerto Rican. She's part of their home. They have a clique. They have a cult. There's a bunch of them. Well, about a half a dozen of them, and they're all. It's like hard. One is crazier than the other, right? And I'm so glad that Jennifer Davis beat Mark Rice. She's a mother of 10. She's a
Wow.
mother of 10. And Mark Rice was a little disrespectful at times in some of the, I don't know if you call them debates, when they got together and criticized her for having 10 children and sacrificing, herself, her time from her children and her business to do this. So I give her a lot of respect and I'm so happy that she won. So um again, again, I just had to play that. I put that on Facebook all the time. So Michael,
Oh
tell
yeah.
tell tell the audience, I mean, because Mike's out of Ohio. I mean, how does and Mike runs a bunch of other podcasts for those of you who don't know my co-host Mike, and he's been on Lindell TV and produced shows on Lindell and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me, Illinois, you got New York, California, like who is one of the craziest, most dysfunctional states? And maybe you'll say Illinois because you're more familiar with it, but I'm just tell us what you
Dude,
think with that
it
experience.
it's legitimately a toss-up between like Illinois and California. I mean, California, people have just about given up on, but Illinois is really the same way. I mean, one of the worst things I saw election night there, primary night there, was that you guys lost. Its turnout was down 33% from where it was during the last primary year with a gubernatorial race. Um,
Wait,
so,
I need to interrupt you. There's a reason for that.
oh
Joe
yeah,
Severino wasn't on the ballot. I don't know if you saw his press
yeah.
release. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
well, without the presumptive nominee, I mean, I do understand why the count was so down. There's probably a lot of people depressed, just
Right.
sitting at home because he wasn't on the ballot with the rest of the crazies ticket.
Yeah, sorry.
But
Keep
yeah,
going.
yeah, but like, and it is all the dysfunction. It's all your county parties that are essentially filled with undocumented Democrats, and it's other crazy stuff that happened. Like, you guys had a really good candidate, Tedora Brown. She got left off the ballot in DuPage County. They didn't put her on there at all, and then she had limited access in another county. It was the Republican Party fighting to keep her off the ballot. She had to spend $32,000 to stay on because they were disputing signatures, even though she had way over the number. And then because of that dispute, they left her off the ballot in DuPage. I mean, it's crazy. And we saw the same sabotage with other conservatives running in other places. Unfortunately, Nikki Conforte won her election too, and this lady's crazy. She ran to Al Jazeera. I know we're going to talk about that later. But you guys lost out on a great candidate with Taylor Dunsing. We had him on here before. He would have been great, but instead she basically bought her election.
Yeah, since I've been involved in this, I was elected as a committeeman twice, and I was never intending to be involved in politics. I got involved only because of my kids. I would go to a school board meeting, and it was the same like dozen parents, and most of them, their children are even out of high school in D99. And I give them respect for showing up. I ain't going back. My kids are out, but confronting these radical leftists. Downers Grove, DuPage County has became blue like a San Francisco blue. It used to be the reddest of red. And it's the same parents over and over again fighting. And the only reason I ran is some of the moms told me, "Oh, you should run because it'll make you more relevant when you're in front of the school board." And I'm like, no, and I went to some of the DGTRL meetings full of rhino, idiot fools. Still, I mean, even worse. I mean, they're just awful. There's nobody left there.
Yeah.
And they didn't want me to run for committeeman. And they had some guy they appointed. There's other things like some guy named Greg Bull. There's other things that you can do. And, because I was a radical right winger, they knew I went to January 6th. They hate that. They didn't put Trump up in the windows. They're all, what I mean? So they were trying to suck up to the Democrats who crushed them, or actually over time, they take more and more and more, right? So they think, okay, let us act like a Democrat, and maybe they'll play nice with us, and we'll win some seats back. These idiots, 10 years into this now, and they're losing more and more every election cycle. And
Dude,
they're trying to kowtow to the left, right? And they want to be careful. Like Nikki Conforti, she's a rhino. She was pictured with a couple of friends of mine that were at January 6th, and then she asked them to take it down before. She was siding with me until the rhinos came against me, and then wanted nothing to do with me. So she's a straight up rhino. Doesn't like Israel, and pretends she likes Trump to us, but in general she does, because she thinks that the Democrats are going to vote for her and help her beat Sean Casten. He's going to crush her. I will do everything I can to expose and call out Sean Casten. He was my number one enemy when I first got into this. His kid was in Downers Grove North. My twins were in South. He's a piece of shit, Marxist scumbag, Nancy Pelosi backed piece of shit. Porn, drag queens, transvestites, open board, everything we hate. Everything we hate. So, in this election cycle, I'm going to keep calling him out just because he's my enemy. I will not rate out. And so I guess de facto that will be helping Nikki Conforti, right? But I'm not going to help her. I'm not going to say she's a good candidate. She's a backstabber to the Republican Party.
yeah.
She took endorsement from the Bridgeview Muslims CAM organization. She allowed Al Jazeera to promote her. Now, for those of you, if you're not familiar, if you haven't watched the show or watched other shows, and Mike could jump in when I'm done here. Ever since I've been doing this show, we pull in people that were ex-intelligence officers and tied in authors and stuff about Muslim and Islam and what their goals and objectives are. And listen, no, not 100% of them are like that, but in general, their religion and their expectations is to infiltrate. They have, with
Yes.
respect to the Quran, are supposed to lie to us. It's in the
Yep.
Quran. I have numerous people, not just one, not just hearsay, and their forward bases. When I was in some meetings with some intelligence officers, and this has been historically, their forward bases is what they call it. These are ex-intelligence officers, and that's all they did for the military. Forward bases are the mosques. The
Yep.
mosques, they set up and they pepper them here and they pepper them there as they spread out, and then they build up and they build around it. And then they get idiots like Nikki Conforti that wants a few of their votes and brings them and sucks them in, just like Illa Omar and those other crazy Muslims, right? They even say I mean, I wish I would have thought about it before. I mean, she supports Somali over us. I mean, they
Yeah.
say that. No, Mike, you
Yeah.
know more
Yeah.
about it than I do.
Yeah, and if you guys want to, I'll go ahead and plug Annie Cyrus. Her new book comes out this Saturday. You guys really want the history on this, and you want it broken down exactly what Islam believes and why they use their mosques as forward operating bases as they spread this political. I mean, it's not a religion; it's a cult. It's a death cult. We got to be real. Like, look at the result of what's going on over in Europe right now. But yeah, that's part of the problem. She's reaching out across the aisle, doing exactly what they want. They will use her, take advantage of Nikki Conforti and anybody else that reaches out and extends a hand, because their job is to take over. Look what's going on in little Mogadishu up right now. Look at Dearborn, Michigan. That's not that far from Chicago right now. They just caught a ring of Islamic car thieves there with $400 million worth of luxury vehicles that yeah, this just happened within the last couple of days. It's just now starting to get reported, but they're stealing and then laundering, selling off these luxury vehicles all over the country. They found $400 million worth of vehicles in one city in Dearborn, Michigan. It's all centered around, that's that same town it's full of mosques and everything else. That's the one where they were kicking the Christians out like 6 months ago when we were covering that story. Yeah, this is what happens. They're trying to dominate right now, and they're Chicago. You guys are next on the list. Once they get done with Minnesota, then it's going to be Dallas. Then they've got places picked out in North and South Carolina, and we're going to keep seeing more of this.
Yeah, they're building a village and not a village, a town, a community in Texas. When I had this meeting with these intelligence officers, they showed dots all over the country. As they were presenting to a group of 30 different people. And two red dots, mosques, and then all of a sudden, Texas, massive, unbelievable Texas, red Republican Texas. For some reason, they're populating there in a big way, and you just Google search it, right? They're building a big community in somewhere in Texas, and that's something that we have to, we have to be cognizant of. And again,
Yeah.
I'm not saying all Muslims are like that. Oh, it's racist. It's just a historical fact, you guys. It's a historical fact. And
Well,
if you just
I'll say
search,
it.
right,
Because
go ahead.
look at look at what's going on in Europe. Because even the ones that are aren't violent, aren't jihadists, they're still going to the mosque. They're still paying the zakat, which is a 10% of their income. That's a tax that they pay, and then the imam sends that for jihad, whatever that's defined as. But I mean, look at all the cases too with these wire transfers going from mosques to literal terrorist organizations. One of these guys running a Leering Center here in Ohio. One of the I can't remember if these they're minister or if it's their UN minister. It's one of the two because they're both tied to money laundering here. But he was also tied to this check cashing place that was sending money over to Boko Haram. So they were using a check cashing center in Columbus, Ohio to launder money to terrorists in Boko Haram. And I forgot to give the title of Annie's book. It's Architecture of Jihad. It goes on sale this Saturday. Pick it up. It's only $15. Go pick it up on Amazon. You'll be helping her out a lot, and you guys will learn a lot from this book. If you guys aren't familiar, I know she's been on the show with us here before, but she was born in Iran. She was sold into slavery at 13. Her father was a sheikh. Her mother was a Quran teacher. She knows it inside and out, and she's been here sounding the alarms on the Muslim invasion that's going on in our country for the last probably close to 15 years now.
Yeah, it's a great story. She snuck out, and she's obviously a Republican, and you
Yeah.
got to look it up. You got to read it. We're going to have her back on, probably with a couple other friends of ours, talk about what's going on in Iran. Actually, probably next week we'll figure out how to get that on. You guys got to look it up. So now that we shared a little bit of this, and if you don't believe us, please just Google search some of this stuff. There's another thing. Those of you who grew up in the Southwest Side where I grew up, in Bridgeview, Burbank, Oak Lawn, Orland, and you see holla food, holla. Oh, right? Everywhere, holla. And I don't know if it was from Annie or another guest that was an expert on this. And so the way the holla works is that there's a percentage of that money to put up there and say you're selling holla food goes to the local mosque.
Yep.
Look it up. Look it up. And then I forgot the exact percentage. I got the worst memory in the world, right? Since 1980s, it was rough on my brain, the fights, the bumps, so there's a certain percentage that goes to the mosque. And then there's a certain percentage of that goes into this other fund that gets distributed to other organizations that have links to terror. I mean, just search it, please. So
Yeah.
that we shared a little bit about this, I just want to show this Al Jazeera. And for those of you who don't know who Al Jazeera is, they first came on the radar during the war in Iraq in the early 2000s, right? And that was a propaganda of the extreme Muslim Islamists, right?
Yeah.
And it was their perspective of world news from an Islam perspective, not friends of us, not friends of America, not at all, right? So Nikki Conforti gets promoted or endorsed by this Muslim group called CAM out of Bridgeview. And then Al Jazeera promotes her and uses her what she's saying is propaganda. You're going to see it's a propaganda video and how they're showing the stuff about from the river to the sea and all that bullshit, right? So that's what she's proud of. That's what she ran. That's what she sold out to. So she got offended that when we called her a traitor, well, she is a fucking traitor. She's a fucking traitor. She sold out because it's a big Muslim population in the Southwest Side, my old neighborhood there. So she wanted to keep them happy and get some of their votes. And believe it or not, Sean Casten isn't aggressive going after Israel. So what they did is they're calling him out. And Nikki Conforti is the only Republican that was endorsed by CAM and being promoted by Al Jazeera. So you want to play that, Mike? And it's disgusting. It's propaganda. Al Jazeera is using that idiot as propaganda. Watch this, please.
And real quick, Al Jazeera is funded by the government of Qatar. They are literally the mouthpiece for the Qatari government. Here we go.
First and foremost, I believe that Americans should reject all foreign influence in both American elections and the governing of our American system. And so for that reason, I don't believe any foreign nation, regardless of who they are, should have influence, either physical or financial. And secondly, I'm a pro-peace candidate. And you probably know the 6th district here in Illinois, where I'm running, has a very large American Arab constituency, and it has the largest Palestinian community in the nation. And I've worked hard to get out into the communities across the district and listen to the people of my district. And many of them have been deeply affected by the war between Israel and Palestine. Many of them have lost family members. And I find it difficult for me, in good faith, to take support from any organization that directly opposes the people that I hope to represent.
Right there is straight up fucking propaganda for the Islamic Muslims, right? Listen carefully to what that fucking fool said, right? Listen carefully. I will not take that. She was dogging Israel, subtle undertones, acting as if Israel's controlling us in America. She was kowtowing to the fucking Muslims that supported her in Al Jazeera.
Yeah, and on one hand, she's talking about foreign influence, talking about APAC, and the other, you turn around and then she's taking assets from what did you say the organization was? CAM, CAM.
Yeah, something American Muslims out of Bridgeview.
Yeah, well, she's all in with the jihadi American community, apparently.
Yeah, she's taken endorsements from them and promotional activities, and she said she doesn't want outside influence. She's taking outside influences from fucking extreme Islamists and Muslims that don't like us. They, you know what? Our country is full of immigrants, right? My grandparents, you heard it over and over again, came from Italy, right? One grandma spoke Italian, the other one spoke Polish. But when they come here, they try to assimilate. They do. They truly do. My grandparents did not teach my mom. He had 5 brothers and sisters, 6 of I think total, and they purposely didn't teach them Italian because they wanted them to become Americans. They were proud. They were proud. These people, you go in their neighborhoods, like, yes, you had Little Italy, Chinatown, so I don't want to hear that bullshit from the leftist scumbags, right? These guys take over, infiltrate, Muslim bullshit everywhere, their religion, the burqas, and then they get offended if you don't follow what they want and what they think is acceptable in the communities that they're coming into, of our communities.
Dude, they're trying to ban having dogs in parts of New York right now.
Yeah, explain that and what their thoughts are about dogs, Mike, please.
Yeah. According to the Quran, dogs are filthy animals, and therefore you're not supposed to have dogs, which is why, a lot of times you'll see Muslims, they'll avoid dogs or go to the other side of the street if you're walking a dog through a neighborhood. So now, to appease them in parts of New York, they're trying to ban dog ownership or walking dogs through the neighborhoods. They're basically saying that it's religious discrimination somehow if you own a dog and walk it through their neighborhood. But also look at this, what they just did at this firefighter 9/11 memorial over there. They've got prayer rugs out in front of it. They're now doing the call to prayer in New York and parts of the city 5 times a day. They're blocking streets. They're going to Central Park. They're showing that New York is now a conquered city, and you guys are going to get the same thing there in Chicago. Just give it about 5 more years.
Yeah, they're already going to change the street, something like where I grew up, Little Palestine or some shit like that,
Jihad way.
And it's kind of funny. They're scared of dogs. If you ever peel back a burqa on one of his women, most of them look like dogs. That's why they got them covered. Joke. It's a joke. They're not all like that. Many of them are. Let's see. We'll talk a little bit about, let me go up here. So everybody already knows what happened with the primary election. I was kind of surprised. I did not endorse anybody. I purposely did not endorse anybody. And the reason is that we have 4 candidates that are running. I got friends and grassroots across the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to endorse one candidate and have 3 of the other 4 groups of my friends and grassroots folks get upset with me. So I did not purposely endorse because of that. Now, if I felt that one of them was going to fucking hit a home run and beat Pritzker, I jump all in, man. Right? I give everybody respect that ran and sacrificed and spent this year running around in circles in crazy Illinois because our state is so messed up. The Illinois GOP sucks. There isn't an Illinois GOP. Kathy Salvi sucks. The
Yep.
leadership sucks. Trump didn't even put money in here. The RNC didn't put money in here when they ran. When Trump ran, they're not going. These guys are all running by themselves, right? All of them.
Yeah.
So I give them credit for that. I was kind of the way I look at it, I'm going to do my best to help Darren and Aaron or whoever would have won, right? To fight against Pritzker because that guy's an evil piece of shit. But
Yeah.
people have to take this into account, right? Pritzker's not running for the governor of Illinois. He's running to be the president of the fucking United States. This is just a little check the box on the way, right? And what happened over the last 4 years since Pritzker won last time and now? Well, we got a rerun here, right? But what's different? The Illinois GOP is way, way weaker, less money, less big donors. The grassroots folks, people are, people are leaving, they're fleeing, they're fed up, man. We became much, much more weaker, right? We're more divided, with the establishment. So we're a weaker organization. Now, on the upside, Pritzker is hated. He's hated much more than he was before, right? But you got to understand that fucker's got so much money, right? In the unions, he's going to be promising more than he did 4 years ago. I'm running for president. I'm running. He's going to get these guys jumping through hoops. All the unions are going to do whatever he wants. All the unions, the money, the commitments, the quid pro quo, all the bullshit's going to be 2 or 3 times more than it was 4 years ago. And we have a smaller, weaker army. Now, with that
Yeah.
said, of course, we're going to go and fight. And we're going to try. So that's another reason why I just didn't want to create a war with 3 of the 4, grassroots circle of friends. So that's one reason. Now, with that said, I'm going to do everything I can to try to expose. I'm going to go confront that fat bastard at his press conferences, just like I did with Ben. I gotta show you guys when we confronted him with like 25 cameras. It was Pritzker, Rahm Emanuel, Brandon Johnson. It's pretty funny. We yelled out and shouted at him at one of their press conferences, and I'll do the same thing for Darren and Aaron. So yeah, Darren got 53% of the vote. Ted Dabrowski got 28.9, Mendrick got 9.6, and Heidner 8.1. And I'll be honest, I was kind of surprised. I really, really thought that it would be a little bit more balanced, right? I always
Same.
thought that Darren and Aaron would win because name recognition, right? I was kind of surprised Rick Heidner, with all the money he put in there, he took last. That really surprises me.
Yeah.
So those are big surprises, and I give those guys credit. One of the things is just another example of Kathy Salvi's incompetence, right? I don't know if you saw this, Mike, but there was a unity breakfast. Did
Yeah.
you see that? So there was a unity
Yeah.
breakfast. I want you guys just to think about this. Not everybody knew about it, but Kathy Salvi, our great fearless leader, had this brilliant idea to have a unity breakfast the morning after the election. 12 hours while people are licking their wounds, still bleeding, black eyes, fucking hate each other, right?
Yeah.
Calling names and bullshit and pedophiles and all this crazy shit for the last year. And so this woman thinks that everyone's going to come together and do a group fucking hug. Are you kidding me? You should have gave them time to let it's like you get
At least a week,
right. It's like getting in a fight with your wife, or you don't turn around. Okay, hey, come here, baby. Give me a little. No,
Yeah.
you gotta let things settle down. So that was stupid. Another stupid thing she did is that when she first was running, until she got so much pushback, she was charging $120 a person to go to a unity breakfast.
God.
So it was more like raising funds for the broke Illinois GOP than it was truly a unity breakfast, showing her priorities, right? She has no
Yeah.
vision, no common sense. So, she took out the 120, got rid of it. Some donors paid for that. And I don't know how the turnout was. I know a few of them didn't show up. I don't
Yeah.
blame them. Number one, they're going to be tired and exhausted. They're going to be angry, disappointed, frustrated, betrayed, embarrassed, all those emotions. And they're going to walk up and say, "Hey, Kath, we're you stupid. She's stupid."
Yeah. Yeah, because
So,
I mean, even if some of these races didn't descend to the levels they did, where it was personal attacks and homino attacks and all that, it was still a hard fought campaign. This is brutal. This is war in the streets in a lot of these races, not just the governor's race. And you aren't going to want to just the next day, even if you lost fair and square, next day you're not going to want to walk up and shake somebody's hand. And then I saw the mobile billboard Pritzker sent to the event.
to what event?
Yeah, to the Unity breakfast. He had a billboard parked out in front of it.
Oh, no way. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, hang on. Let me. I got some pictures of this. Give me a second, and I'm gonna.
Local folks, did you know that? That's a bitch slap by that fat bastard. I'm telling you right now, Darren here, I'm going to confront that fat piece of shit at his press conferences. I'll try to put together the clip of what me and Ben. What's funny is I'm sitting. Ben is filming me, Ben Berkwam, from Real America Voice, and we're filming each other, both shouting at Pritzker. You know how Pritzker says, "You got to come through me to get to my people." I yelled, "Isn't it easier to go around your big ass?" You'll hear it. And then I didn't know until later when I was editing the video. I had my black leather Fonzie jacket on when we got inside. They were on the west side announcing some big factory or something, and we got in. And undercover state police, the guy's behind, like, he sees it, and then he's got putting his hand on his gun while I'm yelling at Pritzker. I'll show you guys that. So I hate Pritzker. So I look at that. I mean, that shows, he's just bitch slapping us because he knows. Did you find it?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the other pictures, but basically he had quotes on there from one candidate to another, like one of them, Mendrick, saying that Bailey couldn't beat Pritzker statewide. Well, however he phrased that with his picture on it. Basically, he was trying to put anything he could on there as a rolling digital billboard to basically stir stuff up between any of the candidates that showed up. So if one of them said something negative or whatever, that's what he was putting on the billboard.
Yeah, he's basically stirring the pot then, right?
Exactly. Well, that's the only reason to do it.
Yeah. So let's see here. We got Don Tracy. Sorry, I got that 2-week Illinois cold here. Tracy won 39%. Not a big surprise. Establishment guy. Diane Harris. You got that up there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can pull this up. We can start at the top, work our way down. We already talked about Bailey. Here's the Senate. You guys got Juliana Stratton for the Democrats. Don Tracy. Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Don Tracy. That's not he's an establishment guy. It's kind of funny is that he got a vote of no confidence when he was the chairman of the Illinois GOP, and he's going to run, for Durbin's seat.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
You guys did have a few shakeups. Jesse Jackson Jr. lost his race. I saw he wasn't too happy about that.
Run, Jesse, run. I thought he went to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But apparently he was back out on the ballot, right after his father just passed away.
In Illinois, you could run for federal seats as a felon. There's hope for me, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Delia Ramirez, she's a piece of shit. She's against Italians in Columbus. I hate that woman. I don't know this Oakley.
Yeah, Angel Oakley. No, I don't know anything about her. Tricia Garcia for the Democrats. Lupe Castillo for the Republicans. District 4. District 5. Mike Quigley for the Democrats. Tommy Hansen on the Republican ticket. Sean Casten. There's Nikki. Nikki Conforte taking 82% of the vote is pathetic. I don't understand you guys there in Illinois. You had Skyler running and people voted for Nikki.
Mm-hmm. They didn't know him. That's all.
Yeah. That's a huge miss. LaShawn Ford, I'm sure he'll stay in there. Running against
hold on. Go up. Go to Chad Copy. No, I'm sorry. Keep scrolling. Right there. Chad Copy. This guy's a farmer guy. He's like 85 years old. He was a pilot. Nice guy. I mean, I give him credit. He's running like a grandpa to fight for the country, man. He gets all respect. Very nice guy.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Patricia Easley, hold on. She's a piece of shit. Everybody fights with her. She was part of that Chicago Red and they booted her out. Arrogant, 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 arrogant. All about Patricia Easley. I'm glad. I can't believe it, man. An 85-year-old man bitch slap you, baby. All right. Let's go here. What do we got here?
Melissa Bean for the Democrats and Jennifer Davis, District 8.
Oh, man. Got Jennifer Davis, mother of 10. She
Yes.
beat Mark Rice-A-Roni and Maxi Pad Rice. They're a team. It's awesome.
Yes. District 9, Daniel Bliss or
Wait,
Biss.
hold on. This is a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
So that cat, that's the whack job that used
Yes.
to the seller pictures of herself. What was that site again?
Yeah, she was on like what, OnlyFans, or was she on a WikiFeet?
Yeah, OnlyFans. She's not even hot looking. She's a crazy radical leftist Marxist. The Squad was behind her. Mike?
Yeah. Dude, the video of her getting thrown on the ground by the ICE agents is priceless. She should have been arrested right then.
Yeah.
By the way, she's now going to jail for 13 years.
I hope so. I hope so.
I think she let me double check. I think she took a plea deal after she lost her race and is going to do 13 years. So give me a second on that.
You are fucking kidding me. Mike, are you kidding me?
No, well, maybe she's up. Maybe she's got 13 years for the charges. Hang on. I'm looking it up right now. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Hang on here.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. I mean, you know what? Based on what they did to the J6ers, she deserves it. I would think in like 2 to 3 years.
Well, I think they stuck her with multiple assault charges because she attacked multiple different ICE agents that day, not to mention impeding federal investigations and whatever else. I mean, she would try to play traffic cone a couple times, and then she got thrown on her ass. I think she also threw tear gas canisters back at him, so they're getting her on charges for that, assaulting a law enforcement officer, assault of a Leo. And sorry, it looks like this story is off the headlines now, but give me a second. I'm still trying to find it. But yeah, I know she's looking at a lot of jail time, and it sounds like they pretty much got her dead to rights. But let's see if we can get an honest jury in Chicago.
All right, let's keep
All
flipping.
right, I can't find it. All right, yeah, here we got District 9, and this is the race. At least Rosia Cleveland didn't make it.
Crazy Puerto Rican. That chick, man, she needs to be locked up. She's crazy. I don't know too much about the other ones. I know Mr. Sue.
Yeah,
he had 8%. He's from China. He's been here for 30 years. You know, the guy had very, very poor English, and it's a problem. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because I actually did see an interview with him, and he kind of seemed like what made him run is what he sees going on in the CCP right now. He's kind of similar to, I don't know, are you familiar with Lily Tang Williams? She's also from China originally. She was here in the U.S. during Tiananmen Square, and then took up the amnesty offer. She was here going to law school at the time, so she stayed here. But she's run in the last 2 election cycles just because what she sees happening on our streets right now is what she saw growing up during the glorious revolution in China, when a lot of her mother's family, went off to labor camps never to be seen again.
Yeah. All right, let's go down.
Yeah, Ellison is another freaking rhino, unfortunately. So lots of undocumented Democrats.
I don't think there's anything outstanding here. Let's see. Keep going to.
Yeah, this is 11. Walter's the establishment candidate, unfortunately. Mike Pierce would have been good. Tadora Brown would have been good. She's the one I was saying earlier. They didn't put her on the ballot in DuPage County, which is insane. Julie Fortier, I don't know anything about her. Mike Bost, I've heard mixed things about him. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if you do.
No, I don't. I don't know too much about him. Bailey ran against him last year.
Maybe that's it then.
Years ago. Oh, sorry. I get this cold.
Let's see. Nah, you're fine, dude. Jeff Wilson took District 13 for the Republicans. I'm not familiar with him. And then James Martyr gets to run against Lauren Underwood again. I like James Martyr, but man, Underwood's going to be tough.
Mary Miller, she's really awesome.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet her at one of Annie's speaking events last year. That Networking the Network. She's great. Her and her husband.
Mm-hmm. Chris.
Let's
Darren
see who we
Wood.
got. Yeah, Sorensen. I don't know anything about Dylan Vansel. Sorry, guys, in District 17. Same with the rest of these. I'm not going to be familiar with your state level positions for the most part.
Yeah, no. I guess from the DuPage County. I don't know if you have that on there. Gary Grasso, he went unopposed.
Oops.
For DuPage County chairman. Sean Noonan. Want to talk about Sean Noonan? He's a buddy of mine, great guy. Ran against Eddie Moore. Eddie Moore's the undersheriff, and he was supposed to take over for Mendrick. He had the establishment behind him, and Sean kicked his ass.
Good.
Beat the shit out of him. And I got a bunch of scumbags, and you guys, I posted you on Facebook. What's his name? DuPage conservatives, Walter something, this other whack job. They're all pissed off that I hit and exposed Eddie Moore big time with police reports and FOIAs and incident reports. The guy got drunk 5 years ago, got in a fight, broke a security guard's hand. The sheriff, his brother sheriff from Wisconsin, said he was drunk, bloodshot, slurring. We had the video. Got drunk, he got in a fight. Valentine's Day. Allegedly got drunk by 2 witnesses. And then, sorry, guys. Allegedly got drunk based on the witness and the police reports. Ran over a Hispanic busboy from Gibson's, left tire track marks on him, didn't call the police, and tried to blame it on the Hispanic guy.
Yeah, and again, as a cop, he should know what he certainly knows what the laws are for traffic accidents in Illinois, which if there's anyone injured, you have to call the police. You have to get them involved. There has to be a police report filed. As a police officer, I would hope he knows that. Same with if there's what they consider major property damage. Anything more than like a scratch you want to just work out with them, you have to have a police report.
It looks like the voters of DuPage County agree with me over these scumbags that have been bitching and whining. They're still bitching and whining today and call me out. It looks like they believe they said it was a nothing burger. Everything. Oh, and this is past. Oh, when they came after me without naming names and all the people that work around the sphere of Eddie Moore and all his friends, they brought up my 35-year-old past, right? And I'm not even. I'm not running for sheriff. I was nobody. They tried to destroy me over something because I called out John Curran, so they could go fuck themselves. They got their asses kicked. They look like fools. So keep flipping your mouse because you guys look like fucking fools. What else do we have here? Oh, so we're coming close to the end, and my throat is killing me, you guys. I'd like to show the video of the clerk, Mike. You pulled that one up from Fox News from DuPage County.
Yeah.
Woman got her ass beat too on the Democratic side.
All right, let's roll this.
Republicans love Donald Trump more than any president's own party supporters loved him at this particular point. Just take a look here. Bush was at 77%. Obama was at 77%. Look at this. 86% of Republicans approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing. Trump's magic touch has not seemed to wear off yet when it comes to the Republican base.
And overall, Americans are still generally supportive of these strikes, but one survey at least says that support will dwindle the longer this conflict rages on. And already Americans are seeing an economic impact with gas prices being up 27 cents in the last week alone. Here to discuss, Mark Penn, former Clinton advisor, chair of the Harris poll, along with Ben Domenech, Fox News contributor and host of The Big Ben Show. So, Mark, it's hard to speculate now, like what will things look like in November. But the cost of energy has been a focus of this administration, and they've done a really good job of lowering gas prices. And yesterday, of tackling the issue of electricity and all these big AI build-outs. So if energy stays at a sustained and high price, how will that affect the midterms?
Well, look, this is likely to be a bread and butter midterms in the sense that even though there are so many things going on with foreign affairs, the voters seem fixated on how they're doing economically. And so far, even though the economy is actually doing quite well, most voters don't see the economy as going well. But I think the president knows that he's got to get gas prices back down during the summer. He's got a strategic petroleum reserve. He's got good relations with the Saudis. He's got a lot of, I think, tricks up his sleeve here to make sure that gas prices are down by the midterms.
Now, and despite the polling that at least we're looking at, and again, that'll change perhaps over time, but the media are arguing that the big battle here is inside the Republican Party, Ben, over Trump strikes. Watch.
There's a decent-sized chunk of the Republican electorate that doesn't like it. And those people are speaking for a part of Trump's coalition that cared about the no war promises of Donald Trump, that cared about his isolationist commitments, that for 10 years he said, no more endless wars. I don't want to wage war against Iran. I'm not saying in total they're abandoning Donald Trump, but man, there's a big fight happening in the Republican Party over this issue.
Ben, how big a fight is it?
Laura, I am so angry at you. Every time I listen to John Heilemann, I get stupider, and I can't believe that you would force me to do so for that amount of time. Look, this is ridiculous. It's completely false, and it's not borne out by any of the data that we're actually looking at. The Republican base is totally united when it comes to Trump on this issue. And I'm sorry for John, but as much as he wants to say that there's some kind of crack up happening on the right, it's simply not true. I actually think people are surprisingly, perhaps, even more supportive of the president than I might have guessed. The thing is, though, they judge things based on outcomes and success. And so because of that, I think you see that in the poll data. This has to be a war that is encompassed in the realm of weeks and most months, not something that drags on, not something that certainly drags on into the summer. That's going to require our military to do a lot of things in short order. They've shown the capability to do it thus far. I think the president has the confidence in their ability to do it, and that's why I don't think this is going to be any kind of decisive issue, and certainly is not leading to the crack up of the coalition of the right, which I think is as united around Donald Trump as it ever has been.
Now, Mark, these people have been wrong about so many issues. Okay, it was going to be populism was dead. You know, Trump's never going to come back from to politics. I mean, the tariffs are going to kill the economy. And now, Mark, we're supposed to believe him on this?
Well, look, I think in most wars, what we've seen is the American public supports it, then it starts, then it goes on too long, and then the support drains out. This is kind of interesting in that I think support will grow as this is successful. You know, obviously it's got to end in a reasonable amount of time, but I think people were surprised that we did it because it was a surprise in many ways and meant to be. And I see opinion moving in the direction. I think MAGA voters are 100% behind the president. My data shows that. I think it's Democrats, some of whom are opposing it because they believe that it's the wrong thing to do. Many of them are just trying to be the opposition party and throw and basically stick with their party no matter what.
Yeah, or they're just mad that Biden and Obama couldn't perhaps fix this problem. Again, success will be the ultimate test here. Mark and Ben, thank you both very much. And up next, a new...
Sorry, that was titled something regarding ICE.
Yeah, that was the wrong one, but actually, we can talk a little bit about it, and we'll close out here. My throat's killing me.
Sure.
I'm glad we're going to do a show with Annie and my friend Sargis about this in Iran and stuff. This stuff's been going on since 1979, right? I mean, and can you imagine if they had a nuclear bomb? Look how they're attacking all of their friends in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
that's how unhinged they are. You know,
yeah, they've hit 12 other countries with missiles so far.
So, you know, bomb Iran, bomb Iran. Well, I think we'll just shut it off here before I have a heart attack. My throat's killing me, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll have an exciting November coming up, and we got to fight. We got to do our best we can to fight against these crazy, corrupt Democrats.
Exactly. The battle has just begun. We're only through the primary there, but there's opportunities in other states to take some of these rhinos out still. So guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us to grow so we can bring more people the news, the mainstream media.